Peace, peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. What's going on? What's going on with y'all? I'm back to drop another jewel or two. Back on the same thing. Yeah, family. Peace, peace, peace and blessings. Now, back again basically to talk about the diet again. And, finding out that our diet has a direct correlation with the lifestyle on a healthy level, I could say, the lifestyle that you're going to live health wise. And by us, you know, putting these certain foods and chemicals in our body is deteriorating our health and our lifespan. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I'm just gonna go on with this information. Last video I was talking about the hybridization and the fake foods and all that, and the things that we consume on a daily basis, and not knowing what it's doing to our body. And there's people out there that knows what's going on and continue to put wealth over health, basically. For instance, we have, the GMOs, for instance. For y'all don't know, GMO is genetically modified organism, which basically the genetic material is altered using, what I'm gonna say, genetic engineered methods, basically, and the FDA, which is basically the Food and the Drug Administration, they have repeatedly, said that GMOs have unpredictable and hard to detect side effects, from as small as stuff like, a headache to allergies to toxins. But this is the FDA telling, you know, the food companies that, these, or I don't know, the farmers or whoever, that is not good to have these. And, not to mention that other countries outside of the United States, like Europe, they ban, a lot of these chemicals that our government still allows to be in our food at certain levels or whatever it may be. But in general, it's still not healthy at all, and they know this, you know. And that's just, like I said, the GMOs, the genetically modified organisms. It's the word itself. Look at the word. Then you got hybridization of, which I know also, and don't get me wrong, I understand the natural occurrence of things in nature and how hybridization goes and interbreeding, like I said before. But when you look into, like, for instance, these people done crossbred a salmon, the fish, in tomato crop plants, or genes, I should say, in order to basically, so when it's colder out, the tomato can last longer, I guess, growing in the growing process, because they fuse together whatever genetics from a salmon with this tomato. Now, you can't tell me that that's just regular, interbreeding or natural hybridization. But, that's a whole nother can of worms. But look into it. Now, just in something as small as that, you go to the grocery store, you buy this tomato that's been genetically modified, or, with a fish to be able to hold the water and maintain, for them to hold the crops longer, and then you ingest this, and now your body is doing different things like holding on to more water or retaining more water, and then your doctor can't figure out why, you got your water levels in your body. I'm just throwing a small bone out there. Maybe like your water levels is higher or level, whatever, or lower, whatever the case may be. And then they put you on these medications, and then now you take it. You just see how you see the ladder of things, the severity of things, and the things that they're doing. Then you got MSGs, the monosodium glutamates, and that's also this is known as the brain killer. You know, and that's in the cereal and the noodles and in the baked goods and butter and you know I need snacks and dehydrated potato chips and beer. You know, so when you look at that in itself right there, now you taking in the morning time, I eat a breakfast that has maybe I had a muffin. You know, that's a baked good or and it has some butter. This is not me. I'm just giving out there some butter and then some orange juice that's pasteurized, which is basically heated sugar. I mean, the whole processing thing, you know. And then we're ingesting these chemicals in our body, and then we're not even drinking a water with the pH level of a certain level, which I'm gonna drop a video on water and the pH levels of water, the potential hydrogen level. And if your water doesn't even have a certain potential hydrogen level by scientific definition, it's not even water. Just like I was telling you before, by definition, food, which you consume, you know, to digest through your mouth, if it doesn't hold nutritional value, it's not even considered food by definition. So I'm just dropping these jewels for people to tune up. We gotta tighten up, people. That's what it is. We gotta tighten up the things that we putting in our body because it's affecting how we think and it's affecting how we reciprocate that thinking onto this world, you know. And that's just one way that I believe through the diet that we can, you know, cleanse ourselves. And then, you know, back on the GMO thing and the hybridization, because I want y'all to understand this, you know, like GMOs are this. Or let's take it to the seeds, the seed process. You know, this the seeds of a GMO are created in a laboratory using high tech and very sophisticated methods, I would say. And again, the hybrid seed is also used in the lab, but they say it's a more natural and low technical or low tech method they use. You know, it's still not as natural as nature itself doing it. And again, they're using like with the high tech. What are they doing in these labs that's so high tech? You know, like again, I told you they splice the cells. That's what it is. It's actually gene splicing. If you're looking at that, like I said with the tomato, they splice the cells of a tomato and splice the genes. I say, I'm sorry, they splice the genes of a tomato and splice the genes of a salmon, the fish somehow, and did whatever they did, and now they have a tomato that can withstand the weather and colder temperatures. Like, and you know, I understand creating things for the advancement of people, but then you still have to look at the long-term effects of what these things are doing to the people. And it's not a coincidence that where you can, you know, access these foods and these, you know, these things that where you can get them, man, is no secret. Is in the inner city, is in the urban areas, you know, is in areas where it's highly populated by melanated people, and I don't think that's by no coincidence, you know. If you think I'm lying, go into your corner store and pick up a bottle of water and check out the pH level, and then ride to the most upscale neighborhood, you know, closest that you can get to, and go in their store and pick up the water, and then check out. It's going to tell you on their water what the pH level is. They're going to have something like essentials in there. They're going to have Fiji water. They're going to have, you know, whatever top of the line water it is out there, you know, and it's not the same thing. It's not by coincidence. You know, you look at the BHA and the BHT, the what is the BHA? It is the butylated what is it? Butylated hydroxyanisole, BHA. That look at that chemical. That's in so much of the foods. That and BHT. You know, they kind of like run hand in hand together. But don't believe me, people. Take your time out and look at these chemicals and see what they do to the body. See how MSG has been linked to Parkinson's, Lou Gehrig's disease. If you have diabetes, then by ingesting levels of MSG, it makes high blood pressure things. So when you start seeing the correlation of your diet and your health and the effects that these foods, or so-called, I'm not even going to say food, these substances that we put in our body and how it affects you, mentally and physically. So, like again, like I said before, people check it out. Look up into hybridization. Look up into GMOs, genetically modified organization. I'm sorry, GMOs, genetically modified organisms. Look into that. Look up into what MSG is. Look at where you can find these things. At how convenient. Like, look at margarine. Margarine was created by the Nazis for the concentration camps. It was a chemical made that they was using to kill off people in the concentration camp. We gotta tighten up, people. We gotta know the history on us. We gotta know the history on food. We gotta know what's going on, and we gotta just let this, like I said, we gotta get this information out to our people because it's affecting how we think and how we function as a people. We're poisoning our body. We're poisoning our mind. And that's just, I'm not saying go out and throw everything out your refrigerator and but let's be realistic. People got lives and families to feed and stuff, but let's be more concerned with what we putting in our body. Let's take the time out. That's what real soul food is. To me, soul food is not the baked macaroni and cheese and the collard greens and the neck bones and the pork chops and all that. The soul food is the time that your loved ones took to make that food and interact with it. Yeah, that actually cutting it up and chopping it up and in the kitchen, humming, singing, talking to the food. That's soul food. When you cook and you in there really interacting with your food and hoping that it brings health and a nutritional value to the people you're preparing it for. So I think we even got the word of soul food twisted up because of the mentality that we are stuck in. And it's like I said, it's not by coincidence, but it's time for us to tighten up, people. And with that being said, like you said, I love y'all family. It always comes from the heart. None of this information is to be fictitious or facetious or try to discredit anybody or take away from anything. It's just the information is out here. And when we get in tune with who we are, what we are, and what we're doing, then, things of that nature just come to the light and it'll be a lot more easy to digest. So with that being said, peace, love, look into it, family, look into hybridization, look into MSGs, look into BHA, BHT, look up margin for all I care, like I said, and just get in tune, tighten up, start caring about yourself, start loving yourself, start caring about yourself enough to, look into the things that you put into your body. And even if you don't stop putting the things that I said to put in your body, start putting these natural and God's foods in your body. And think about that. That's food for thought. I love y'all. I'm out. Peace.